Good evening, everyone. Today is June 1st, 2020. Oh my gosh. I don't know how 6 months flew by in 2020, but I think so many on two different hands. One hand, it's going really great Scentsy wise, and we're like, yay, but the rest of the world, everything else, everybody's like, let's make 2020 just go bye-bye for get it over with and start it fresh. But the beauty is that we have such an amazing company that helps people emotionally. This is a very emotional time right now. There's a lot of just people that are stuck at home and depressed, and now we have a lot more other things, lots of writing, and so people are staying in their houses. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and being careful when you go outside, not only because of COVID-19, but because of all the writing that's going on. So I know a lot of you are in areas that it's happening. Here in Vegas, it's happening. Thank goodness, at least yet, it's not where I live, but you know, we just have to be very careful and be cautious and just make sure that we put our safety first. But the nice thing, like I said, in the Scentsy world, amazing things are happening. Want to share some things that I think it's important you guys to know, just so you know that you are a part of this company at the right time. Whether you're brand new or you've been around for a while, the fact that you're still here is a great thing for you, because we're literally at the beginning of a huge boom. With any type of direct sales business or even a regular brick and mortar business, there's always going to be kind of like a wave. And when you start, you're kind of down and then you go up, and then there's always going to be a little bit of a dip. But we're actually going on a explosion of, like, when people first launch businesses, it's usually their first 2 to 5 year mark is when things kind of really start to blossom, because you put all that hard work in, putting your foundation in your business, learning your business, you know, what works, what doesn't, just all the ins and outs of the business. So that's why they say it takes about 2 years for you to really see a return on your business. It's generally faster with direct sales as long as you're working your business consistently. Because you have all the things already implemented, all of the, you don't need to set up a storefront. You don't have to do all the marketing. Scentsy has all that for us, which is amazing. So we kind of like cut out a good portion of the building phases of the business. So that's the advantage. And in May of 2020, Scentsy achieved the largest sales month in 15 years in the entire company. And usually we get those type of numbers in the fall, but even in the fall, we never have had those kind of numbers. So that is huge. And I want to share what we did with our group. We also had the biggest sales month in our Angels group history ever since I joined in April of 2011. I want to give you guys an actual number. So let me just go back really fast. So, well, Jesse's, my Angels team, so if I'm your director, we sold 58,598.97. And then our entire group, which means everybody that is under another director as well, that's in my entire organization, we sold 106,433.57. That is amazing. That was actually a bigger month than when I promoted to superstar director in the fall. We've got amazing things happening right now. So I just want to congratulate you all for just really taking advantage of this opportunity that people are buying right now. They're home. They're they're bored. They're even scared, especially what's going on. And our product is a feel-good product. Our product makes people happy. And when people are stuck at home and they're bored, not that I think that's a good habit, but they do tend to shop online, and it makes them feel good. It's a quick gratification. You know, it's not going to give them long-term, but once they get our product, it can really make the whole day a more pleasant day, because it creates those good feelings. So we're so blessed with that type of a product. So I've been reaching out to a lot of people here and there, especially new consultants and people that have been doing well. And I've just seen a big drastic change in their businesses. And a lot of them have expressed to me that, oh, well, I don't want to bug anybody because, people have lost their jobs and people are hurting. That is absolutely true. But we have to remember that people still want to feel good in their lives, and they're not going to skimp out on their home when their home is where they're at 24/7 right now. So I just want to kind of plug that in real quick. And it's really a shift in the mindset. If we think they're not buying, they're not going to buy from you. But the sales that we had last month proves that people are buying, no matter what our mindset is. They're either going to buy from you or they're going to buy from me because my doors are open, right? So you have to basically make that decision. Are you going to close your doors because you think people aren't buying and because you think they're hurting? Or are you going to check in with them and see how they are? And if you've been around long enough, they know you're a Scentsy consultant. They're probably going to say, hey, can I, grab some stuff from you? All right. So there's some notes I wanted to share from, this is something that we were supposed to be at Superstar Director Summit in April, and it got canceled. And that's basically every year we have a training for our level of the company. There's director boot camp, there's star summit approach, and then there's superstar director summit. And because they all got canceled, Orville and Heidi are just amazing people. We've been kind of jumping on a live Zoom every once a month, just to kind of touch over the things we would be learning, and as much as we can with being on Zoom. But I wanted to share this with you guys because it really, really is inspiring. It shows how amazingly brilliant our owner is, and it just kind of gives a good perspective of what's going on in the world. So I wanted to share some notes of something that he shared with us the other day. So this is his historical perspective. Orville says, I believe there's a fundamental shift happening in the world. If you think about, cyclical nature of history, I'm probably saying that wrong. 80 years ago today, in 1940, we were right at the beginning of World War II. The Blitz was going on in the UK. There was devastation all over the world. 5 years after the end of the World War II, the world was fundamentally different than it was when it went into World War II. Go back to the 1800s and you had the US Civil War. Look at Germany history, look at British history, look at American history. The 1850s were incredibly life-changing. Before 1850, America was divided over slavery. There were compromises and fights that got worse and worse until the Civil War. 1850 was when India was annexed into Great Britain. Go back another 80 years and it was the American and French Revolution. 80-year cycles tend to have a major event that fundamentally change how the world sees itself afterward. After these crises, people stop fighting. They're tired of it. They realize that being a community is more valuable than being right. Old arguments fade away and consensus develops, and then there is an economic boom that kicks off for 20 years until there's a new spiritual awakening that turns into a cultural war that then turns into a crisis, which is basically where we're in right now. Crisis happens because too many people think they're right, and they're willing to kill over people because they think the other person is wrong, or they're willing to vilify other people, or they're willing to rip apart a community or a family or a country or a world into factions because they're being right. Being right is more important. Sorry. What the crisis does is teaches everybody that being right is not better than being alive. It's not better than being happy. It's not better than being connected. It takes a crisis to get people to give up being right. We're currently in the middle of a crisis. Out of this, community will mean more. And if we can be a community that people are drawn to, then we'll be the solution that comes out of the problem rather than washed away in the crisis. So holding together, caring for one another, and creating an environment where people want to belong is critically important in a crisis. It's been proven over and over and over again through history. We want to be connected that way. So that way we can not only survive, but thrive. So I thought that was incredibly touching. It's just to know that our owners not only care about, you know, products and being selling, they're really trying to help us through things and let us see that we're a part of a community that, you know, our guest speaker, Michelle, who I'm going to give her the floor in a couple seconds, she calls her happy place. And it's something that when we are in a time like this, we really need a happy place. And the beauty of Scentsy is the more connected you are, like everybody that's on live right now, you know, you're joining into a community of love and sisterhood and brotherhood. And we need that support. We need to know that we have somewhere to go that is positive and that will lift us up and other people. So just remember that as a Scentsy consultant, you people see our whole, as an organization as a whole, our whole company as positive. People that I meet, you know, randomly, they'll tell me like, yeah, Scentsy consultants are basically happy people. And, you know, there's people that aren't every now and then, but the more you dive into the company, once you really get that, you know, Scentsy spirit and you know, you start to bleed purple, you start to have something about you that people notice and they want a piece of that. They want to, like, I remember when I first started, people used to say, I don't know what you got going on, but I want whatever you got going on. And that's all they'd say. And I was like, well, I can tell you what I got going on. It's Scentsy. So, so just remember you have that. And you are a solution to some people's situations that they may be struggling in. So that's really amazing. We have so many people that invited Stephanie Doe to sit in tonight. I hope that, yeah, absolutely, Melissa. I added her. I did. Okay. Hi, Stephanie. Okay. So congratulations to all the people that promoted. You know, things aren't official, so I don't like to do those because things can change. So if you did promote and you haven't seen your title change on your website or your workstation, the reason why is because things are not official until the day we actually get paid. And so generally our payday is the 10th of the month, but we all know sometimes we get paid earlier. So basically when commissions post, that's when your title will change, just because I've had a lot of people texting me, why isn't my title changed? I know I promoted. So don't worry, everybody was worried about that too. But congratulations to so many. I know that Sharon's on, she promoted to lead just because you're on, and I know in the top of my head. So congratulations to her. And we have a lot of people that are like this close to promoting. And I'm just so excited, guys. Honestly, this business is all about it makes the true joy is watching other people thrive. Honestly, I mean, yes, the money comes, I promise you guys, definitely money is great because it gives you resources and opportunity, but I promise you what really keeps you fulfilled inside is being able to truly serve and support other people, to lift them up and help them see their true potential. And when they are doing it themselves, that's the key. They, you know, it's not because of me or because of their sponsor that they're doing things great. It's because they believe in themselves and they're taking the actions, and all of you are. So nobody made you get on this call today. You know, I'm not your mom, I'm not your boss, but it's something that's available. And so that means you want to grow, you want to learn, and you want to grow your business in order to give yourself more opportunity to have those resources. So I just want to congratulate everybody that is taking the step to be on live and recorded, because I know not everybody can, you know, be on live at all times. So without further ado, I want to my voice, my lips are like going crazy today. I can't talk. I want to introduce my dear friend, Michelle Cohen. She's a star consultant in Scentsy in our team, and she's amazing with organization. And I'm not, so I begged her to be on here. I've gotten better over the years. I kind of had to, but I still can use some tips. And she's also done really great things with Happy Mail with her customers, because she even gets customers sending her Happy Mail because they get so happy with her Happy Mail, which I think is so awesome. So I've yet to have that happen. So I'm like, I got to hear what this lady's doing. So I hope you guys are excited, getting your notepads out to take some notes. It is recorded, so if you miss anything, don't worry. You can watch it again. And then we'll have questions and comments at the end. So I'm going to mute myself and unmute Michelle, and we will go from there. Let's see, Michelle, where are you? Unmute.
Oh my, hi. I know I'm a teacher, but I hate speaking, so bear with me. Yeah, so Jess asked me to speak on my happy mail because, as she said, I pretty much called Scentsy my happy place. And so, and for me, it's easier to share via mail because, especially in this time. So it's come in handy, but it also keeps me kind of thinking about what I'm going to put out there, who I'm going to contact, why I'm contacting people. And part of my New Year's resolution was to stop wasting time and stop wasting resources. And during this quarantine, I've been cleaning out my house and my home office, and I've been with Scentsy. September 10th will be 4 years. So a lot of accumulation of materials that made me realize that I've been wasting a lot of things that Scentsy has essentially provided. So it's just in streamlining and making things work for me without me over either spending money and it going to waste, things like that. So if I have it with me, my goal is to get as much stuff out as I possibly can. I have a suitcase full of wax that I don't need 200 bars of wax, right? Like, it's crazy. Just how much we accumulate as consultants throughout the years with Scents of the Month and all the warmers and all of the flyers. So I've just kind of been going through what I have and figuring out the best way to get it out into the hands of customers. So during this quarantine, I've kind of, again, accumulated all of my stuff, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get it out? And I'm going to start with kind of like if you've just started with Scentsy, the most economical things to do, and then kind of like as your budget grows, fitting that into your budget. And one of the things that Orville always says is use Scentsy money, not your money. So utilize the things that Scentsy provides and other consultants. Like, we have the most generous consultants ever. Like, people, like, as Jess will tell you, I love YouTube. I will go on YouTube for everything that I have a question about. And I today found a video and somebody's Google Drive on following up. Like, here's a sticker, here's a flyer, here's a, scratch and sniff, like crazy things that people have out there for free. Like, all you need is white paper and a printer. It doesn't even have to be colored. You can like doodle on it yourself. Like, it's amazing how much stuff is out there. So when I first started sending out mail, I was sending out, so like again, I found this because I didn't send it out and I was wasting my money, but I would send out in these clear bags, which cost me 72 cents to mail because it's out of the norm size. And I made up like you're getting, you can't even see it. So it says, you're getting your monthly whiff of Scentsy. Thank you for your business. And then my name and my information, whatever. And this was an August 10% off. So here's like the 10% off in August. And I mean, this will tell you how long ago it was. It was in a size that fit in an envelope. So I love that Scentsy made it so that it fits in an envelope now, because here's an envelope and here's the flyer. Like, it wouldn't even fit, right? And so I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? And this is when the Scentsy Go came out, which this is the right size, right? So this is the kind of stuff that I was finding, and I was putting in wax samples. Then a customer said, thank you for the sample, but it melted. We live in Las Vegas. Melted all over, everything's bleeding, the wax is disgusting, but it smells great, right? So thank you, customer, for telling me that, because, you know, we don't want to waste our money. And I was like, printing out my labels and all this kind of stuff, right? So then I went to felt. So you can buy a sheet of felt for like, I don't know, get a half off at Michael's. It could be like 20 cents, 15 cents, right? And you can cut these to be whatever size, shape. They're not the prettiest, but you can get it to fit in a baggie, right? So if I used the same baggie, and they even make them smaller, and I get the baggies at Walmart because they're the cheapest at Walmart than anywhere without coupons or whatever. And you can cut it, I mean, even to the size of the whole thing. So like, think about it. You get 50. So if you sign up for Scent of the Month or Warmer of the Month or whatever, you're gonna get 50 of these. So just tally one sheet, right? To, you know, get as many, you're 50 out of here. And I would say this is the most economical. Scentsy has like the really pretty felt, you know, this is like Christmas trees and snowmen, and it has the, you know, Scentsy warmer shape ones and all that, which I love. I love them because those are the best. So here's a sample of the Scentsy one, just the wax one. So I kind of put this in there now because I don't want to cut. I'm lazy. I just want to sit and melt, and I have tweezers and they come out, and I put them on wax paper. No, parchment paper, not wax paper. Wax paper seeped onto my countertop, and then I had wax, so use parchment paper because that won't absorb into the counter. Just learned that the other day. So I'm going to show you. I don't know. See, I'm really bad at talking in front of people, even though there's like 5 of you. So here, I'm going to show you really quick what, like, say, like, what's going out this month. Because, so, oh, and these envelopes, I got 1,000 for $40 on Amazon. So that I found was, they're pretty, they're purple, and they fit everything. So the flyer of the month, and if you don't subscribe to the center or warmer of the month, I believe it's the 15th or the 16th of the month. If you're closing out an order, you can buy these for $3 and add them. So what I do whenever I'm closing out an order, I have a business supplies as a customer, and I add all of my business supplies onto there instead of ordering it from the Scentsy Success store, because your shipping is a lot less. So it saves you on shipping. And so this would be like the cheapest way to send something out is to, if you want to mail things out, they have postcards that you can send out, and you can buy the stickers. So 72 the scratch and sniff stickers, which when I make samples, I'll make the sample in the felt, right, that I bought from the Scentsy Success store, and on the other side is the scratch and sniff, so they know what it is. So if they fling it in their purse or throw it wherever, they know that the scent is what it is. So some could say they want to put it on here, but I like them to have a sample of the actual scent, and it's labeled, and I don't have to add anything else. And it's look, it's perfect. Perfect. I love it. So kind of fits with my OCD-ness. Makes me happy. So I send out the flyer of the month, and I got a stamp. A stamp, not a sticker, a stamp. Oh my God. That has saved me so much ink. I don't have to order labels. I don't have to look for labels. I don't have to, nothing. Just sit there, watch TV, and stamp. You stamp your flyer. You stamp your join, you know, join host by. You stamp your product sheet. Like, you're just sitting there stamping. As soon as you get it, just stamp. And you're just, whatever you're doing, stamp. The best investment ever was this freaking stamp. Seriously. I don't have to worry about lining it up. I don't have to worry about it, cut it off. I don't, OCD, sorry, again. So all these little things that make, this is why I like Happy Mail, because it makes me happy to like put it all together. And there's an order, right? So it goes this, then the product sheet, and I cut it, so I fold it in half and then half again, right? And this one isn't right because it should be like, you know, that part out so they know what the heck they're looking at. And then this month, so for June is our Bring Back My Bar. So I printed out the Bring Back My Bar sheet, and on the back, I printed out the Scentsy Club. So I can follow up with the customers. Hey, did you get my Happy Mail? Did you notice the Bring Back My Bars? Those are only available, right? I'm going to be texting. Those are only available for the month of June. But did you look at the back of the sheet? Do you know about Scentsy Club? No, I don't. Okay, well, grab the sheet, look at it, choose your product. You know, it gets, you can choose for it to be shipped as much as you want. So it says here, so the graphic isn't the best when you, so what I did, this was on the marketing tab. I put it into PowerPoint, and then I cropped it so that I could get this as large as I could. But once you get it this size, it's legible, but it's not a very sharp font. Like, they can still read it, but I couldn't figure out anything else to do. But I mean, it's big enough, right? Like, it's, here's the sheet, here's the whatchamacallit. So then you can talk to them about Scentsy Club. These bars are only available, like, I know people that love Happy Birthday. Eucalyptus, you know, when I knew it was coming out, girl, eucalyptus is coming back. I know you love it, you wanted it, you store it, you save it, you don't warm it because you love it so much, right? So the thing too, say like eucalyptus, because it's an oil, you'll look at the bar, right? So when they go to pop it out, a lot of the oil is on the bottom. So you can talk about, if you subscribe to the Scent of the Month, you're getting a fresh bar. It's not sitting there, it's not seeping, it's not like the oils aren't coming out funky. You're going to get a fresh bar every other month if they want to do every other month. And I think they can do it every third, I'm not sure, every third month, something like that. They can't do like skip more. So if you want to get a 6-pack, and then like in 3 months you want another 6-pack, and then, you know, but they can't say, if they wanted, I don't know, I have sugared strawberry here, if they wanted this and they put in 6, so you can talk to them about Scentsy Club. Basically, that's the point of this, right? But the freshness, because I have a bar that I've like held on for dear life to, of eucalyptus, because I love it so much. But it's kind of lost. It's not lost, but like, it just looked like when I popped it out, I could see a lot of the oil was lost at the bottom of the bar. So that's kind of a conversation that I'm going to have with people, is you can get your fresh bar every 3 months. So you don't have to buy every month. You know, if you want to get a 6-pack every whatever, however many you want, but once you lower, right, so you're gonna have that conversation. Once you go from 6 to 5 to 4, you can't go up, you can go down. So I suggest that you go study what what Scentsy Club is all about, right? So that's what's in there. And something that I added, which is funny because when I started my recipes was about 3 or 4 months ago. And the first recipe that I put out was banana nut bread. And guess what? It's one of these, which is so freaking cool. I'm so happy that it came back. So banana nut bread was the first bar, correct, Jess, that came out. So you can go into that whole story, but this recipe is so good. So if you're part of Group Make It Happen, or I guess I could repost it on our page. Callie posted this and I was like, that's really cool. So I posted it on Instagram and I posted it on my business page, and people started making the banana bread and started buying Scentsy from me that have never bought from me, which is so funny, all because of this recipe. So I was like, well, hey, I think I'm gonna start adding recipes to all of my mail outs because that's pretty cool. And it's also adding value. I mean, it's just doing something fun. People are home. I don't cook, but I've been cooking. Gosh darn it. Don't tell anybody. But Caroline, my daughter, she actually made the banana nut bread. And the secret, I would say that the secret ingredient is the whipping cream. The whipping cream was like, we had whipping cream, this came up, we made the banana nut bread, and I had friends like tagging me on Instagram, hey, I made this and it was so good, and I made it with nuts and without nuts, and da, da, da. So you got people talking. So then the next month I did some kind of chicken something recipe, and the person was like, hey, I'm gonna make it, you know, that's pretty cool. So in I gotta say, like, in sending out the happy mail, it doesn't always have to be just Scentsy. I've sent out notes to people, like in our little, there's, again, Scentsy warmer shaped Post-its, which I don't know if they're even on the Scentsy success store, but I'll just, like, on the little notepad, write a note. How are you doing? Quarantine sucks. Hope you're well, blah, 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 right? Like, but they're like, okay, you took the time to write me a note that's specific to me. You're thinking about me. You're not just trying to sell me stuff. And I would say that there's people that I've been sending happy mail to. I'll send it sporadically depending on when they order from me. You know, like, to say I'm sending you happy mail for 6 months, you haven't ordered from me in 2 years. Like, that's something that I don't do because it's a waste, you know. It's 55 cents for a stamp, and I'm sending you stuff, you're not even like acknowledging it. So postcards work, texting works. Hey, do you want a sample? I thought of you, you know. So things like that definitely help, like that personalization. And during this time, people are shopping. Holy cow, people are shopping. So the more, you know, we put under their nose, and I'll send 2 or 3 even of the samples if I have extra. I'm like, hey, this is a new scent. Hey, I thought you would like this. Hey, blah, 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 right? But back to, like, using what Scentsy has, lots of postcards. Hey, you're stuck at home with your dog. Does your house smell like dog? Is your house smelling a little furry? Hey, blah, 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 right? Like, use some humor, I would say. Send a postcard, put a scratch and sniff sticker, right? Like, use humor. Seriously, I think that sometimes I think I'm a weirdo, but people like seem to actually reply, like, the right, Melissa, like, the goofier you are, like, I loved your hat and I loved your scarf, and I was like, I'm gonna interact, and I was like, I'm not gonna win, yeah, but I was like, this is fun. Like, people need fun, they need something happy. Nobody writes letters anymore. I loved writing to my grandparents when I was a kid. Scentsy has these I added, but you can add, hey, I thought of you, here's a, you know, a new scent, a classic scent, a blah, blah, blah scent, but I thought of you. Write your postcard, you know, and these are cheap. Like, they're cheap, but it's all Scentsy. Like, it's it's crazy. Like they have so much stuff that they give you. And if you don't want to spend money, again, business supplies, your customer, add this all in there. I mean, I have like so many postcards. Like I'm a postcard junkie as it is. Like here's a party one, here's another one. I mean, I'm like seriously, postcards, 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 because that's like the cheapest mail, you know? So I would say that scratch and sniff stickers, super cheap, right? Something that Jess taught me, and again, in cleaning out my office, I find magnets from Jessica when she was my consultant. And she told me people will not throw away cards with your picture on them. Hello, I have her cards. They're magnets. So I was looking on them. Yeah, see, I won't throw them away because it has your face on it and I feel rude. So I was looking on Amazon, and I think the cheapest I found was like 25, 30 bucks for 200 magnet. And then you just add your magnet and send it out. Like, don't forget me, I'm still doing this. Put me on your fridge, right? So that's something I haven't done, and I'm gonna do. So I'm researching more stuff. Nail files are like $3 or 5. So this could potentially fit in your mail, maybe not quite. You do have to kind of watch how thick your envelope gets, but if you put like an extra few cents on there, you can add stuff like that. But I think it's important to like going through your customer list and seeing who's ordered from you. I found a lot of new customers that just found me on the locator. So sending them like thank you postcards, who referred you, I'd like to thank them, I have a referral program. So I do have a sticker that it's like on an address label, and it says, I love referrals, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just kind of put it on the back. Oh. So talking about putting on the back, I will add, so I give them a sample, right? So say, I don't know, this one is Clean Breeze. So that's in my envelope. On the outside, when I close it, I'll just look through whatever current scents I have, sticker-wise, that aren't scents of the month, and I'll close my envelope with that. So I've had orders from that. They're like, hey, I really liked whatever you sealed your envelope with. So that's like another opportunity. And you can put that in your bills and close out your bills with that, and use like a Scentsy, you know, like your Scentsy, make your own little Scentsy PWS label or whatever. Because people are actually like looking at all of it. So, I mean, I get like washi tape. I try to make it fun. I'll add stickers sometimes here, things like that. I don't know, I had a customer the other day who, she emailed me for something or texted me, and I was like, hey, I could potentially have an order going out that will save you shipping. You want to order something? Yeah, actually. She was asking me about scent packs, right? So she's like, well, yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about scent packs. What's better, this, or this? She wound up ordering a whole warmer, 45 bucks, 3 scent packs because it saved her $1, and 3 bars because it saved her another $1. Cool. Lady, if this order doesn't even qualify for you for free shipping, I'm going to pay for free shipping, because it wound up being like my commission on that for the $4 that her, you know, was like, whatever it was, I think it was $4 that her shipping was, made her happy. All she heard was free shipping. She didn't ask how much is my shipping. Free shipping is all she heard. Cool, yeah, okay, I'm gonna email you my order. Thank you so much. I dropped it off and I gave her a sample. So I have these this size, I think they're 3 ounces, and there is a group called All About Scents. Can't see it. Oh, there you go. So see, it says Blue Grotto. On the back, it tells you the directions, caution, keep out of children, all the ingredients. And this is free because we have generous consultants, right? Free. All About Samples, independent Scentsy consultants only page. Look them up. And they make labels for everything. They have labels for all the Bring Back My Bars. They have and then it'll have the description of what the scent is. So I threw in a whole bunch of stuff for her. I threw in how to use your how to use your whiff box stuff, right? So in your whiff boxes, you get like all these little pods. So I used up stuff from my whiff box to give her. So sometimes they'll give us samples that are laundry for pets, right? For body lotion, hand lotion, dish soap and all that. So I just threw all that stuff in there, labeled every single one of those, and she'll be ordering that stuff. So it was like she didn't know me. She found me somewhere on the website. She actually the first time ordered on my PWS, and it was like a $40-some order, to asking about scent packs, to buying like over $80 worth of product, which then led to I got to give her more samples, right? So like utilizing the things that we get, utilizing our free and half offs to start storing things that we can use for sampling. You know, like, again, I don't need 200 bars for myself. I need to buy counter clean so I can make these, or you could do this size, right? You can do whatever you want. You can get a Ziploc, you can get a cloth, like they're kind of like counter, it's not really a terry cloth, it's like a counter clean. You just fill it up enough that it's absorbed into the cloth so that people can try it. Things like that, where work smarter, not harder, and utilize what you have. Like there was, I think last year for Mother's Day, this was in a whiff box. This whole like full-size Scentsy soap was in a whiff box. I made samples and I sent them out. I give them to friends. Hey, you had a baby, you need a spa day, you know, things like that. Where these I bought for $1 at the dollar store, put together a little sample. Here's a $1 freaking foot scrub, you know, make a spa day at home. $1 tub, put your feet in, couple soaks, and I'll tell them like 2 scoops is maybe for a bath and 1 scoop is for like a foot soak. And I actually had a party where we did kind of a spa theme, and one lady, she's a masseuse, so she fell asleep with her feet in the water. She's like, that was so relaxing, my feet feel so good. And I was like, well, that's cool. And I gave them like one of these, and they're $1. They were $1, but they were just so happy. They were like, that's really cool. And so they're all scrubbing, you know, whatever. They gave themselves a pedicure. So it's just interesting, like what we can use. I mean, some of the stuff I buy off the whiff box, or I buy the whiff box because I want to see what, you know, it's like a present, but I don't need it all. Or maybe I have duplicates, or maybe I just want to look at it. They send these pods out, and what I did, I was like, well, I don't need it because I have the whole bar. But instead of using my whole bar to make samples, I use this, and I got 13 samples of this out of this 13. So what am I going to do with 13? I will tell you. So for July is our transition month this year, or is it August, Jess? July, right? And then August starts the new fall, summer, because they changed it on us. Because it was September, so it'll be right. August. So July is the last month for spring, summer.
Yes.
So, okay, just clarifying. So what I've done, I had started to go through my catalogs. Again, don't waste money. If you have catalogs, after July, this is worthless, essentially, because it's new product, right? So I went through my catalog and I went through all of my scratch and sniff stickers and I started to place them. I didn't even know, okay, this is embarrassing. This is how out of it I was this year. I didn't even know that Waves and Wonder was in this catalog season. I didn't know. I didn't know. Wasted money, didn't know. So I put the scratch and sniff here, and then ones that I have like this for, I made samples, and then I'm gonna put them like next to their name here or through the catalog. So like, I don't know, here's a pets, like where the pets are, I put a scratch and sniff. And through the catalog, like there's different stuff. So you can, after you send these, and I think like if you stay within a certain flatness, it's like $1. I want to say it's $1 to mail. Just don't get too thick. Just put a sticker here, close it, and mail it for $1. So don't quote me, but I think that's what it is. So I'm not going to go too crazy, but that's where like the scratch and sniffs help with the thickness. So they'll get some, so like here's Clean Breeze, here's the butterfly, and I'll get like washi tape. I'll do like normal tape to help tape it, and then washi tape over top to make it look pretty. So going through the catalog, I had sugared strawberry, like there was, I don't know. I mean, if you have like the licensed scents and stuff like that, you can go through your catalogs. But again, I found so many catalogs that I've had through the years that are worthless now, that I've wasted. So I gathered up all of this current catalog season's catalogs. I was like, how many do I have? How many do I need to send out? Who are my top, you know, 13 people? And that's who they're going to go to. And it's, you know, and then I'll say, hey, I'm sending you a catalog, 10% off in July. You're one of my best customers, and I just wanted you to get the discount. Let me know if there's anything I can get you, blah, 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 right? Like it's not going out to everybody. It's going out to my top people, you know, so that they see. And then they're going to open it and I'll be like, hey, you know, did you like any of the new scents? Like there was a Tango something, Tropic Tango. I didn't know I had it, but 13 samples, which is how many catalogs I have. So that was like perfect, like perfect. So it's utilizing like all this stuff, you know, so I don't have to buy and the point is like, I don't have to buy the whole bar to make a sample. And if I had the bar and I use this to make the sample, I can sell the actual bar without having, you know, to have 6 cubes left over that I can't sell, you know. So it's, again, working smarter, not harder. Because, again, going through all my stuff, snow-kissed, whatever, snow-kissed cranberry samples that I didn't get rid of, but I made them, and they look pretty, but now they're melting, and it's not even available anymore. So it's like, I was like frustrated with myself because I've just wasted time and energy, and it's figuring out like what works, what doesn't work, what can I do, what are people responding to, what's getting me more business, you know, things like that, where I'm just like, I don't know, what else? I know I have stuff like if you guys saw like everything that's like right here, like a mess. But so like this month and then I bought these. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the poly mailers, but I'll probably send them to this lady that I've known for a while. She ordered like the Cinderella carriage, and then she ordered some bars, and then 2 days later she ordered some more stuff, and I'm like, lady, that's like $350 that you've spent. But she won't tell me to order it for her. She's like, nah, I'm good, but you could get some free and half off stuff. And so I'm gonna send her like a whole bunch of like full-size products. Like here's some counter clean and bathroom clean of like, I don't know, Squeeze a Day or something that's not available, just to say thank you. but these were like $11 for 100. So if you want to send stuff, and they're fun. I tried to get purple ones and then they sold out, so I was really sad, but these are kind of fun. What else? What else? Hold on, I have stuff like everywhere. Everywhere. Oh, like 10 reasons why to join Scentsy. Oh, and then what to do. So when I am thinking about what to send out, I'm using the whiff box to organize myself. So that, and they fit perfect. So then I can have 3 months. I think 3 months is a good amount to kind of get ready. So if you order your product sheets, you get 150, and you get 50 cents of the months, right? So then if you get 3 months worth and your product sheets all stamped and folded, then you have that ready, right? And product sheets are the cheapest way to versus a catalog, because it's only $9 for 150 product sheets. And again, if you use a stamp, it's like perfect.
Michelle, everybody
Well,
know where you
label
got
everything. Office Depot or Office Max.
Okay.
Yeah, you just show up, go to the counter, ask them what it is that you want on there. You type it up, and you don't have to leave. You just stay there until they're done. You take it home. Yeah, it's pretty fast. So I'll show you the product sheet. So here's a product sheet. I stamp right like there. I'll do it real quick. And like your whole info. So there's my info. So you can move it up or down. And I have my name, my phone number, my email, and my PWS. And that, so that I get more, so it's bigger. So that fits on everything. Like I stamped that. I stamp like everything I can. But it saves you so much time and energy, ink, paper, labels, money, you know, just to have a stamp. I don't know what else. Like organization, I have a thing over there. I don't know. There's like a bunch of stuff in there. Drawing slips, opportunity packets, light bulbs, order forms, Post-its, catalogs, felt, scent of the month, sample bags, and stamps. But really, I have stamps up here.
So where do you get your stamps from? Do you buy them in bulk, or do you have
You would think that my husband being a mailman, he would get them for me. No. Lies. I just go to CVS.
Oh, okay.
On a whim. You can order them from, so you can, I know that people do pirate ship. I've heard of PayPal mail. I've heard of, there was another one. I think it's just finding what works for you. I don't know like any of their logistics as far as scales and things like that. I would like to invest in a scale, especially like now that I want to start sending more things out to people, like that customer that seriously, she doesn't listen to me. It's like she just ordered, she's like, I don't care. I was like, but you could get some free and half off stuff. Like you're a qualifying party all by yourself, you know. So just to send her some extra bigger happy mail, just as a thank you.
Can you talk about your organization over there, about like why, like what you have there and like how you set it up? Like, do you go through your like bins every month and say, okay, I need to have at least X amount of this for the month, or how do you work that?
I do. So I have a list of like, if I'm running out of things, I will write that down so that that's again added to my orders, the business supply order. And having that tab is also better for taxes, because then you can pull up business supplies, and then you have what you've spent for the year. on those types of things. I don't know. I just kind of go through, like I have an actual like file here. So it just kind of depends. Like I had like things, these were like the $99 join, business expenses, things like that. So paper stuff I keep like in the file labeled. But I'm finding that maybe every couple of weeks, going through everything just to make sure, especially getting things ready 3 months in advance, like with washi tape and stickers and things like that. Like I have a little kind of like a kitchen utensil holder full of washi tape, and I'll just sit and start for 3 months kind of planning out like themes. I don't know why. It's not really themed, it's just washi tape, but it makes me happy. So whatever. And just kind of writing it out. And then over here, I'll show you my mess. So like that white cabinet over there, that's where I make my samples. So I have like the parchment paper set up there, the Walton warmer, my tweezers, and I have it all set out. So like right now I have everything set up for the catalogs. So I went through all of my wax, and I pulled out the ones that are current for this catalog season, and then decided on which ones I was going to sample. So I pulled out all of my scratch and sniff stickers and all of my wax that are current, and then decided on which ones were going to be scratch and sniffs in the catalog and which ones were going to be felt wax samples that were going to go on there. Because again, I didn't know that certain ones were even in this catalog season. I just had them from before. So something that I've learned is like, oh, I need to go through my wax. I need to, because I have it's an old timey suitcase just full of wax, and I lay them flat and they're all just stacked like 6 high, or I don't know, and there's like a lot of wax in there. So just kind of going through that made me realize I've been holding on to stuff that's current that I could have sent out even at the beginning of the catalog season, said, hey, this is back. Mm-hmm. Hey, here's a sample, so people could have been smelling it from the beginning of the catalog season instead of getting it the last month that it's available. So note to self, I'll do that for fall, winter, and pull those out, and then do, I think people like to get a full catalog. I think a lot of people are pretty old school. They want to touch things, they want to smell things. So sending those things out, just kind of to people that are really helping and supporting my business and have said, you're my consultant, and people have tried to get me to buy from them, but no, I want to buy from you, so it's just a thank you. Like we could even, send them out just as a thank you or whatever. So, and these two, like these, I was surprised at how many samples came out of this little pod. Like that was a lot of felt. And that's, I think that the Scentsy bar size, that's a good size sample. So if you wanted to get a felt sheet and make a smaller size, like you could get a lot more out of it. So it just kind of depends on what you want to do. I would say like the binder, again, back to like depending on your budget. For follow-ups, what you're doing, I wanted to show you the stickers. Hold on. They're somewhere. I'm like, follow-up. I have Jessica VRL stickers. Hold on. Stickers. I'm telling you, it's a mess here. Funny that I'm talking about organization, but I'm a mess. You don't have to print these out, but let's see. So it says order date, delivery date, 1 week, 1 month, 3 month, thank you, just to track, right? So if you put this on the back of your order form, I give the customer the top form and then follow up that way. So then I know if what I've sent them. You can write notes to yourself, you know. I mean, you could even make it like, you know, this person ordered this day. I sent out whatever, sent to the month for June, July, August, or I sent them a postcard, or I sent them a scratch and sniff or whatever. Amy's really helped me a lot more than paper, because paper for me piles up. I don't know what to follow up with. I don't know what I've sent them. And then keeping track of like what when I send out their mail, keeping track of the scratch and sniff that I put on the back. Because I had somebody say, oh, I really like that grapefruit, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I'd go back. I was like, oh. And then she sent me a picture. She's like, this is what you sent me. I was like, oh, note to self, write that down too, you know, because she liked it. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just grabbed what I had and put them on the envelopes. But, you know, people are paying attention to like everything you send them, which is crazy. So just like be really mindful of that. So I think for like next catalog season, I'm going to definitely order scratch and sniffs for the new scents, the new releases, and utilize those. And you know, what is it, 72? So if I add that to customer mail, if I add that to thank you notes, if I add that, you know, like this is a new scent, people aren't aware of new scents as much as they are the older ones. And then going into the customer database, you know, like past clients have ordered blah, 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 blah. So do that for Bring Back My Bar. If you've been around long enough where you have that, who's ordered banana nut bread? Hey, it's available today. I know who's ordered eucalyptus. I know who's ordered happy birthday, you know, like those types of things. So, yeah. But Amy has really helped me with organizing all of that.
Michelle, someone asked, I know it says Matt, but I don't think that that's your name. I can't take it.
Maybe.
It's Jen. Okay, I'm sorry, Jen. What do you do with your old testers? Do you use them as samples? What do you do with those?
I keep them. I have a lot. So that's kind of been on my what to do with. I do have a jar of like for parties, with this Las Vegas weather, you know, it's hot, so we can't just like mail them out to people. You can add them to people's orders and get rid of them, but that's a tough one. I've tried to whichever ones I keep like a, oh, I don't have it. The showcase brochure is really good because it has all the scents, and I'll have like the scents for say this season and that brochure. So then I can see quickly at a glance what scents are there. And then once they start to repeat, I will, like the big, when I started, we had the big testers. So those I just start to use because they start to kind of lose their luster after a while. So definitely, especially for Bring Back My Bar, you can make Bring Back My Bar testers out of those. I think Whiteout was one that came out last time. And I made a whole bunch of Whiteout testers out of that. And I had a bunch, like the mini ones, and then the big ones. I was surprised at how many I had, but yeah, after a while, you just want to kind of use them up and get rid of them.
Does anybody else on the call have any other ideas of what you do with testers? Any other ideas?
Put them in a cute bag and give them away.
I know that a lot of people do send them like small little bags like this, and they'll put like 4 as like, and they'll use them as prizes at parties. I used to do the little Tootsie Rolls that I'd roll, like put them up in, and I'd put the cellophane with the little ribbon at the bottom and give them as like hostess gifts, like their favorite scents, or again, prizes, gifts. Just like Michelle likes to give extra stuff when people spend a lot. I do that too. And a good way to do it without spending money is your old testers, as we transition, you can give them and they're like, they fit for like one night light or something. It's a little mini, you pop them out. And then also you want to, it's smart to save them as well though, because they might come back in the next season, or the bring back my bar, and then you have extra testers. And then what a lot of us do is we make extra on the go bags with all these brought back testers. But when you've been around as long as me, like some of them, I do home meetings in my house, and I'll do like every season, I'll have like a big old tub of all these testers that I've had for years, just to give like them more on the go parties. But I've gotten rid of most of them lately. So, but there's a lot of different creative things that people do. Go ahead, Melissa. Yes.
One of the things that I like to do with my testers, so I do what you said, like I kind of go through cycles and I create like my bag parties. But when I've had them for a while, or if I have like way too many, because there are just some scents that like never go away, and then you have like a million testers.
Mm-hmm.
I find the little, like right around Christmas, they start bringing out like these cookie jars, like clear plastic cookie jars, and I'll fill them up. It's a party, a party game. I'll fill the testers up, and then on the inside of the lid, I'll write how many testers are in there, and then I'll close the lid. And then so all throughout the night, all the guests at the party are guessing how many testers are in there. And so the person that wins gets to take that whole thing home.
Oh, how cool. That's a good way to do it.
I've never done that. I've done the game, but I've never did
yeah.
that. Smart. That's a really smart.
It's just like 25, 30 testers in there, but they're like all testers that are like gone and can't use them, or, maybe there's some extras in there. And like, honestly, I'm not a big cinnamon person, and during the fall season, like I'm trying to get rid of those.
So Jen, your question, you could just put them upside down in the warmer, and once it gets warm enough, it just drops right out.
Or you get a butter knife.
Yeah.
And score it.
Or this, you could stick it in the middle and it just pops out, or the butter knife around the side and it pops out. Yeah.
And I use the little containers to put, like I like to do my nails with the glitter and stuff, and I put glitter inside of my containers. That way I have tiny little like compact things. So
they're good too. For like samples, like body samples. If you clean them out, you could do like, it's a good, I don't know. I mean, I guess the new one is such an in-between size that
If you do make your own body samples, just make sure you're going to that everything samples?
All about scents.
All about samples, and we have to include the ingredients, because when we're putting it on our bodies, so just make sure if you're making your own samples, anything that goes on the body, that you have the ingredients with it. And that All About Samples page is amazing. She's so right. Like everybody, I mean, there's people that literally sit around and just like, they type up and create all these amazing things,
and they're so nice. Nice and organized. It keeps everything cohesive, which is back to my OCD-ness now, but they're really good, and they have the ingredients so that you don't have to, you just print it, which is nice. Okay. I wanted to share, I had a customer, I was kind of live, just took a picture of like all-purpose cleaner in my husband's recliner. And a customer of mine who had cancer, and he's now in remission. He doesn't have cancer anymore. He asked me for the ingredients, and he said he was able to use our cleaner, our bathroom cleaner and our all-purpose cleaner, because the ingredients, we had good ingredients. And he keeps away from a lot of products because just sensitivity and things. Just kind of wanted to share that. So yeah, the ingredients are very important. People have allergies or different things. Yeah. You're on mute, Jess.
Oh.
I saw your mouth moving.
Thank you. I was saying, does anybody have any questions or comments for Michelle, or in general, before we get going? It is a little bit after the hour, so thank you guys for hanging in there. There's always lots to share. Any comments or questions? Okay. Well, I'm glad, Michelle. Thank you so much. I love that you shared about how, if you're just starting out, you do what you can. And I think that a lot of consultants, like when you start and you want to grow your business, like we all want to just do everything. Like sometimes we kind of go nuts, and that's when we get overwhelmed sometimes. And so just remember, if you ever start to feel overwhelmed, remember Michelle. And remember that the Scentsy is her happy place. It should be your happy place too. If something doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. If happy mail is not bringing you joy, if you're dreading it every day, every month, and you're like, then figure out something else that makes you happy. That goes along with also, like, as you grow a team, if you see that other consultants are doing this for their team and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. It makes me unhappy. I did a newsletter the first year of my business for my team, and I dreaded it every single month. I hated it. I literally, with all my being, hated doing newsletters until finally my upline said, well, why are you doing it? I'm like, well, because you're doing it. She's like, that doesn't mean you have to. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because when you see other people that are successful, you want to do what they're doing because you want their success. But then it's true, because the excitement in you is really what's helping you grow your business. And when that was deflating me, the excitement wasn't there. Yeah. And so we have to remember that we're all individual, we're all authentic, and we can take, even if you love everything Michelle is doing, do what you can now as long as it's bringing you joy. If doing more like she's adding, but that makes her happy. So she wants to add and she wants to find new ways of doing happy meal because that makes her happy. But if you're just like, I just can't do any more than a postcard, hey, that's enough. And, I promise you that anything Scentsy in the mail is going to make your customers happy. Because it smells good and it's friendly, and
YouTube, a YouTube video that I was listening to. It's Chloe Cox. And she has a Google Drive that she shared on referrals and follow-up and whatever. Mm-hmm. So if you go to the YouTube thing and you click on more, the link is there. And she uploaded a bunch of documents.
Can you post that
free
link on the Angel page?
I will.
Thank you.
Yeah. And free.
Yeah.
Cutting out.
It's awesome how much, and I also have a document that I haven't uploaded yet. I just downloaded it today from another group page of very amazing people that just do all this stuff. She literally wrote out on an Excel spreadsheet of everything she does Happy Meal with, all her links that she buys her Amazon on, and it goes right to it. So I'm going to post that as well. So, and like I'm glad that you shared that you got your purple envelopes on Amazon, because for 1,000 for 40, that's really good. But make sure everything, because there's a lot of new consultants, remember everything you spend money on for your business for marketing is a tax deduction. So make sure you're tracking that. You're printing your receipts, not just spending a bunch of money and forgetting that it's going to help you at the end of the year. Jen says, I'm a first-year teacher, and there was already another teacher that sells Scentsy at the school. Do you have any advice for how to not muddy waters but still be able to share my Michelle is the perfect person to share.
I sponsored Melissa, who's down here. There were 4 of us actually at one point at my school that I sponsored 3 plus me. And what you find out is that people, and I would tell everybody, you buy from whoever you want to buy from. Like it's the customer's choice. And there are relationships that each and every one of us had, that we all had different relationships with different people. And I was a sped teacher. Melissa, were you kinder at the time? So you were still sped?
I was still sped too.
And then Lindsay was 4th grade, and then Shannon was 1st grade. So we were all in different kind of niches still, even, and in different parts of the school. So there were people that like well, I'm going to buy from you this month and from her next month. And I'm like, you buy from whoever you want
Mhm.
because that's your prerogative, and you supporting them is actually more important to me than you feeling bad and buying from me. And they're like, oh, okay. And they've all hit, we've all been active and, you know, still like they're still at the same school. I left the school, another person left, but like people are going to buy from whoever, again, like they're going to buy from you. They can buy Scentsy from anyone, but they're going to buy from whoever they have the best relationship with. So and that was one of the things where I was like, it's not for me to hold somebody captive, and we've all been successful and all at the same school. Because when we really like counted staff, we have like 80 staff. I'm like, I can't service 80 people. Say if everybody bought, right? Like I couldn't. Like that's crazy. So being in different kind of parts of the school and having different relationships worked out because people were buying from them that wouldn't buy from me for whatever reason. I mean, I think people like me, but I don't really know. You really
Everybody
don't know.
liked you.
Ah.
So let me add to that because I was there's a school, an elementary school that my daughter and my son went to at the same time, and I was a parent. And then there was my sister-in-law was a teacher at the school. She was a consultant. I had the PTO president was a consultant on my team. And then there was like 3 other moms that were on my team, and we all went to the same school. And on top of it, another team member of mine was another mom. So there was probably a total of like 10 consultants that people can basically get Scentsy from. But we all had our own, like Michelle said, relationships. And the other thing I wanted to point out is that just because people are consultants, it doesn't mean they're telling people they're consultants, and doesn't mean they're following up and actually marketing. So for instance, you're new to that school and maybe you're aware there's a Scentsy consultant. It doesn't mean necessarily that they're out there saying, hey, bring back my bar is available right now. I know you guys are on break, but I mean, if you guys were in school, and then even on your Facebook page, like you may be friends with the same people, but it doesn't mean they're marketing the way you are. And what I found in 9 years, that people buy from the people that they get information from. It's not, and then after you've built that relationship and like that loyalty, then you'll find that they will see things on other consultants' pages, but then come to you to buy because you're their consultant.
Yep.
But it takes a while to be that person. So you want to be the person that's informing and educating and marketing. And then they'll be like, well, my consultant didn't tell me about this. Well, you did. So I might as well buy from you. So and then another example is like, just here in like a mile radius, there's probably about 15 consultants, but we're all doing this different things. We're all have our own clienteles, our own family, our own friends, our own, and so never just put your blinders on. Never worry about what other people are doing. Because I promise you, when I joined Scentsy, I was in this tiny little town. You could literally drive for 5 minutes and then you drove the whole town. And I had no idea because I was brand new. There was 200 consultants in that town. And I had no idea, but I promoted a director in 4 months. And I sponsored like over like 25 people in that 4 months, and they sponsored. And so like, just because there was 200 consultants, it doesn't mean they were sponsoring, doing parties, and marketing. Right. So because I had my blinders on, because I didn't know to not have them on, I was just focusing on my own business, I was able to build a business. But if I was worried about all these other people, what they're doing, it intimidates us and makes it go, oh, well, and then never feel, I love Michelle, what she said is that we don't own our customers. Like they choose who they buy from. Even if somebody's been going to me for 9 years, it's their choice if they want to drop me like a hot potato and go to somebody else that they know better. And that's just the way the business works. Like I can't tell you how many times I've had customers, buy for a long time, and then their sister from another state joins, and they're like, Jess, I'm sorry, but my sister joined Scentsy. Okay, that's fine. That's my bad for, not talking to her about who knows somebody that wants to buy, join Scentsy, So I guess my whole rant is about never letting what other people are doing intimidate you, because you really don't know what they're doing. And it doesn't matter, because I love the analogy that somebody shared with me once, that, there's a 7-Eleven on each corner, but they're all doing different business, because the people that are coming from this part are going to stop at this one. The people that are coming over here are going to stop at that one. Do you know what I mean? So there's enough business for all of us. And
we all live in different parts of town.
Yeah.
So we worked together at one point, but the locator is sending us all different people. Because we're all in different zip codes. And because I was able to say buy from whoever, I left the school. So this school year I wasn't there, and their businesses have flourished because I was like, support them, if you're gonna buy, and it was like, if you're gonna buy Scentsy from anyone, it's not gonna be me, it's gonna be those two. And they're like, oh, okay. and you kind of make it like, you're not hurting my feelings, like you're helping all of us. This is about helping, and you just have to come at it from that, because if you come at it as they're gonna steal my customers, and whatever people you thought did like you are going to start to really not like you, because they're like, oh, you're that kind of person.
Well,
yeah. I mean, not that I'm saying that you are. I'm just saying, like, it could flip flop, and then you get nothing, and then they get you know what I mean? So
yeah. Well,
I don't know.
When I first started at the school, and there's a paparazzi girl, and there's all the things, and they had this table in the teacher's lounge, and they would just set their things there. So I thought, oh, well, okay, when there's a day that's not already taken, I'll put some flyers and something out. And I did that, and it was like a cute little setup. And I mean, that went fine. The next day, though, when I cleaned that up and it was in my thing, the other woman brought a basket full of bars and marked them down by $1. She said, leave your money, and they're all $1 off. And I was like, oh. I kind of felt like that was,
oh yeah,
that wasn't good. That was not nice.
That was bad on her part.
Yeah, and first of all, on two different standpoint of business. One, marking your products down is basically qualifying our products. We don't need to mark our products down to sell products. So she felt intimidated, obviously, and that's her issues. So, as long as your mind is straight, that there's enough business for everybody. Again, if she has that type of like nastiness inside her, it's very likely the people that have been in that school know that she's like that. And when I can already tell as sweet as you are, they're going to probably on the side, like, find out you're a consultant and be like, okay, I'd rather buy from you because, this person, just the other day, they didn't work together at a school or anything, but this lady ended up contacting me via email. She's like, I ordered a warmer. It has like a black spot on it. I just got it. I want to exchange it. Is there anything I can do? So I ended up calling her and found out that this warmer came in. She worked with this consultant, and she asked her if she can return it because there was a black spot right on the mason jar one, the Chasing Fireflies. So when it lights up, it's white and has like a black spot. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course she goes, well, my coworker was like, deal with it. Like, don't, like, not my problem. I was like, first of all, I'm sorry that she acted that way, but I'll be happy to do it. And so she, even though she works with this chick, she's like, I'm going through you from now on, because she like basically looked at me like I had 3 heads, and I was, being mean to rude by asking, can I have exchange my warmer? Yeah. So just remember that customer care and just you as a person. One of the things that Orville Thompson told me once when I was on an incentive trip, and I kind of cornered him, and Mitch and I were like talking to him. He said, we can't teach likable. Like, you can't teach that. So, if you're a likable person, people are going to naturally gravitate towards you and want to do business with you. But if you're nasty, like already that person doing that kind of nastiness, it's very likely, like I said, that crowd of people in that school already probably have been rubbed wrong several times. And so it's like they bury themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, so they may even like email you and say, hey, don't tell so-and-so, but I'd rather buy from you. You know what I mean? And it is the kind of icky part of the business, but you know, you don't want to bad talk about it. Not that you would, but like, I didn't say, you know, oh, that's horrible, she's a bad consultant. I just said, I'm sorry that she, you know, didn't help you that way, but I'm happy to help you. And just kind of blew off the fact that that consultant did that. And then you just kind of swoop in and do the right thing. So basically what I'm saying is that, you know, even if it's one, like Michelle said, if there's like a faculty of like 80 people, there is no possible way. She may think that she can handle that many people. She may want to handle that many people, but it's impossible. That's why we need that's why we need to grow teams, because we just can't do it all. It's just impossible, and it's not working smart, it's working harder. But
yeah, it's like, please go.
Yeah.
Please go to them. Please.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and they would see all of us talking and not mad and bitter, and they're like, oh, okay, right, Melissa? Like, then it makes them more at ease, and they're not gonna look for someone outside of the building. You know, I was like, please buy from them. If you're gonna buy from anyone, buy from them. And then I wound up leaving the school, so you know, they kept that business, and you know, I got different business, but
so Amanda, I'm sending this to Facebook, so she's watching on our group page. She's a teacher also at the school I was telling you about, and she said that like currently there's 3 consultants. She sold like over $3,000 last month, and like probably closer to 4, and like 4,000 the month before. So that is a perfect example that it doesn't matter how many teachers are out of school or a job or wherever. It's just the way you look at things, and being consistent. That's really, you know.
And there are people that, yeah, they don't really do anything. So.
Oh yeah, I could see what everybody's doing. So I know who's not doing anything, and I know who's doing a lot, and I know who's consistent, or who, you know, when they're not working and all that. And and that's the way the business is it's built so we could do what we want. We could decide if we don't want to work 1 month. We can decide if we want to work like crazy 1 month, you know? So I've had even, I know this is getting old, but this is another example. Stop. Another example is I had somebody call me once at like 11:30 at night on like the last day of the month. We had like this, we had this BOGO buddy deal or something. Oh, mm-hmm. And you remember that? Mm-hmm. And she was a client, Mitch my husband worked with her husband. And so we moved to Vegas. He was telling everybody like, hey, you know, my wife has a business, we have a business, and blah, blah, blah. And this one guy goes, oh, my wife's best friend sells Scentsy, so sorry you're not going to get business from us. We're like, okay, whatever. Well, a couple months later, she calls me and goes, can you buy me that double BOGO deal? And I was like, sure, but what happened to your best friend? You guys get in a fight or something? She goes, no, I've been asking her to place this order all month, and she keeps telling me to wait. And then when I called her like an hour ago, she goes, oh, I forgot I closed my last order. Oh. Do you know she's been my customer ever since? Because her best friend, and she says, I told my best friend, I'm sorry, if I'm going to spend money, I'm going to get good customer service, and I can rely on Jess. I can't rely on you. And she says that about her own best friend. So just remember that your consistency over time, people are going to, they're going to quit. That's just essentially what happens. Or they're just going to, you know, not be consistent enough. And when somebody's ready to order, if you're ready, they're going to go with you if that other person isn't ready to order. Or, I mean, you'd think her best friend would say, oh, let me just place the order for you, you know, and, you know, let's split the shipping. I'm sorry what happened. I'll throw in an extra whatever. Nope. She just said, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
People take it.
My friends.
Yeah.
Michelle, thank you so much. I wrote a lot of notes down. I was blown away that you got 13 felts out of that little pod thing.
I know.
I was really blown away. So, and then
Oh.
the felt sheet, I love that you shared how you can get it for like 20 cents at Walmart, because I buy the ones from Scentsy, but like if you can, I mean, they're expensive. Like if you can get like 10 times more. Oh, how did you do that?
I bought them.
You what?
I bought them.
Oh, you bought them where?
418 Dreams on Etsy.
Okay,
Just because it's an angel for.
I know.
So these are about maybe thinner than the felt, so you could probably get more.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. I love it. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Michelle, thank you for showing us all your awesome tips and your sharing your trial and errors, because that's really what it's about, guys. And again, what works for Michelle may not end up working for you. And that's why we have these constant trainings, and there's a million YouTubes out there, because everybody will find something different, and it's going to rub you the right way or the wrong way, or, you know, work right in the middle or whatever, and you'll make your own stuff. So thanks for hanging in there, and we will see you next Monday. But just make sure, really fast, tomorrow is the all consultant call. Register on your workstation.
Yes, bring back my bar.
Yeah, about the Bring Back My Bar, which is going to be great tips on how to market it and sell it and stuff like that. We also have the Saturday call, the Super Saturday call from look at your emails, Becca at BeccaLevi.com. She sends you the link. And we also, if you're brand new and you don't know, we have a Scentsy Consultant Facebook page where they, Jason Harwood and Sarah Walker go and they do little like tips on Tuesdays and Thursdays, do some training. So there's so many different places to get training and different.
Yeah, for sure.
I do suggest, if you find something that you like, write it down where you found it, because I was just talking to a new consultant earlier. She's like, I found this, but I don't remember I found it. And I'm like, okay, first tip, write a notebook of where you find all your references, because we start to go through so much and we kind of, it all blends together and we don't know where we learned it. And then we can't go back and kind of do better, you know, like watch it again or whatever.
Oh, I wanted to share this.
Yeah.
And you just said write down where you found it, but it's the Earn Your Kit. It's a Earn Your Kit thing to put out in flyers in your mail outs too.
Oh yeah, awesome.
I will look for it and post it, and I'll post a
thank
YouTube video.
Can you post that link to the 418 Dreams? Is
Yes.
it Etsy?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'll post it. I got it. I didn't
Yeah.
know if I had it down right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have the website thing,
Okay.
the link.
And then the Chloe Cox one with all the links you said. Okay.
Oh my gosh. That was like, whoa! Oh my God, I'm a nerd. I'm sorry.
It's so awesome. All right, everybody, have a great week. Thanks.
Bye.